Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Shani Cole, and welcome back to Cole Hustle. Hey co-hustlers. Alright, so this video was not planned at all. I wasn't even gonna film this video at all, but I literally just sat up here and caught up on the episodes I missed, which was the last 2 episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all, oh my god, let me just say this. I love Kenya more, okay? Love Kenya, but Kenya, that last episode, my mouth has been on the floor since I watched it. I just got through watching it maybe 20 minutes ago, y'all. And it took me a minute to sit here and figure out, do I even want to do a video on this? But it bothered me that much. You know you did something wrong. You don't even have to know the extent of what happened to know that Kenya was wrong in this situation. Did you see her friends' faces? Even Cynthia was done. Like, they didn't even want to film no more. That's just how uncomfortable it was. And we didn't even see the actual pictures. But from the reaction of everybody there, it wasn't good, y'all. Britt has valid reasons for why she felt that Kenya was being a little shady towards her. There was a little shade. There was a little shade, you know. However, I feel that there is more that we don't know that was not filmed. They don't film everything. I feel like there was more to it before they even started filming. Because it was just a lot of little moments that was like, that was a little shady, Kenya. Again, though, Kenya is a shady person, so, you know. But why Britt? You know what I'm saying? I don't even care for Britt like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care for the girl on the show. But I don't feel like that was necessary. And what made me even more upset with Kenya is the fact that this was your grand opening. You invested almost $500,000 into this business. You said you wiped out your daughter's college fund. You dedicated this salon to your daughter. What would make you think that this would be appropriate to degrade a woman at your freaking grand opening? You made the event about her. So where was your safety affected? Because if I didn't feel safe about somebody coming to my event, they would have never came in the door. The moment I saw you, you would have been out the door, period. I wouldn't even allowed you to come here. I would have took my invitation back so that you wouldn't come to my shit. I wouldn't allow you to take my moment. You feel me? But we're just going to dive into the Kenya Moore Britt situation, okay? I'm still like shocked, okay? And at first, I was not in agreement of them cutting Kenya from the show, but after watching that episode, I probably would have let Kenya go too. It's just too much. Like, you made everybody uncomfortable, probably including production. It's just not cool. Give me the energy around Real Housewives of Atlanta, the cast, 2 ladies in particular, Kenya Moore and Britt. I'm not sure Britt's last name, but Britt and Kenya. Give me the energy around them. Before filming this show, was there anything that sparked between these 2 ladies? Was there anything that happened between these 2 ladies before this show even came along? Okay. So from that question, what I get is I feel like there was just I'm never going to use the word envious when it comes to Kenya because she's someone who knows her worth. She's someone who knows her position and she feels secure in that. Kenya got a hold of some information. Something was given to her, and whatever was given to her, she didn't take it well with the Six of Pentacles right here in reverse. And I'm saying information because you even see this justice scale right here. If I flip it this way, this person has a scale over their head, the justice scale. They're waiting on the information, or they're waiting on something, and this person is getting everything. Could be attention, money, a position, and they know some things, or something they feel is not just in this situation. And I'm saying not just because it was in reverse. So something about whatever Britt, the information that she had about Britt, it didn't sit well with her to begin with. So in filming, it just, made Kenya look at her a little side-eyed. I don't think that Kenya planned to go as far as she did. But I do feel that, there was already energy there before the filming started. And, Kenya's going to do Kenya. She's going to, poke and jab. Kenya like to stir the pot a little bit. Why not? She didn't like Britt from the beginning. There was something about her, something that was said, something that Kenya got a hold to that she did not like anyway. And this just made her look at Britt in a different light. And so there was already animosity there. Okay. What caused Kenya to go to the lengths that she did at her grand opening when it came to Britt? You know what? It honestly was, I feel triggered. I felt hurt by what you did, what you said. I felt like you did the most. There was a level of, I don't trust this person. I don't trust you. I don't know who you are. And you're taking everything that I'm doing just a little too damn personal. I don't know who you think you are since you came up in here with this peach. You got you a position on show. You got you a peach now. And I guess you feel like you can come at me any kind of way. But this ain't that. That's the energy. Let me show you how to do it. You want to come for me? I can come for you even harder. That was the energy. Okay? This was done to avoid anything from happening to where Kenya felt embarrassed. I'm going to say that. The problem is the manner in which she did it. I feel like outside of the cards, I just feel like Kenya really did not think about her own business. And that's what pissed me off. Sure, you're wrong as fuck for the information that you shared. Yeah. But what's even more wrong about it is that you did this at your own event where you invested almost $500,000 into this company for your daughter, you say, and you sit here and degrade another black woman because you felt threatened about her mentioning a pew pew. Because if you felt threatened, she wouldn't be there. That's just point blank period. If it was that serious, she would not be there to begin with, and you wouldn't have to even go your way to do this. But no, you wanted her there because you were already working on this shit here. You were already digging up information to present at your event. You already had got somebody to investigate, getting information on this girl so that you can come up with this broad presentation of how can I fuck this situation up for her? How can I make her look stupid? Because I feel like you made me look stupid. That was the energy. But really, it backfired because Kenya looked stupid in the situation. Yeah, Britt was wrong for mentioning doing some sort of harm, which I feel like was just bullshit talk. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even necessary on Britt's end to even do that. But I feel like it was more crazy on Kenya's end to make your event about someone who you seem threatened by. Because if she was going to do something to you, I wouldn't even be mad at her at this point, because look what you did. Look at what you did, Kenya. Like, you made this situation bigger than what it even fucking was. You didn't have to do that. And it's not even that you didn't have to do that. You shouldn't even did this at your fucking event. Like, it looked very unprofessional. Me as a customer, I wouldn't even come to your fucking business. If I was at your event and you did that at your grand opening, you would never get my business, because you come off as unprofessional. You're okay with degrading another black woman. And it's tacky. It's classless. And I would not want to go to an establishment where the person who owns this place is this type of individual. It messes up business for you. And I felt like that's where Kenya fucked up for real. You messing with your money. You don't never let no woman mess with your money. And she messed with your money a couple of ways. For one, you got fired from this show that you've been on for years. And for two, so she did trick you out your spot, because you let her get a rise out of you for you to do that crazy shit. Not only did she take that from you, but your event was about her. Crazy. And I love Kenya, but that was wrong. I'm sorry. You were wrong as fuck. Wow, wow, wow. In the words of Armand Williams, wow, wow, wow. How does Britt feel about what Kenya did? Like, how did it make her feel? Because she wasn't in there, but seeing this play out, how does Britt feel about this? Like, how did it make her feel? This was a lot for her. This really made Britt feel very small. It really hurt her to even see that you would stoop this low. And it more so hurt her, I believe, because Britt came in apologetic. She knew she messed up and she wanted to fix it. She brought you flowers. She came to your event to support you. She wrote you a card. Like, she really was trying to apologize before you even did all of this. So it hurt her, because it's like, I tried to make something right, and the whole time, this was your agenda. Even though I know, like, it wasn't acceptable, I still try to be apologetic as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a black woman. I tried to make it right, because what I said to you was not right. It was threatening, and I took accountability. That is Britt's energy. So this was very embarrassing for her to even have to see this again on TV, because she wasn't even in there. She had just left. Once you saw that she left, you should have left this alone, Kenya. But no, she wanted to embarrass her. And it really hurt her. But I think that a part of her is like, it's cool, because now people are seeing her character. It's brought to the forefront who Kenya really is. Okay? But yeah, she's embarrassed by this, y'all. How does Kenya feel how does Kenya feel about what she did, especially having repercussions behind that? How does Kenya feel any type of way about what she did to Britt? I feel like Kenya was not thinking with her heart. She was just thinking out of the top of her mind at the time. She was thinking, she reacted before even really thinking things through. She comes up as erratic. The Queen of Swords in reverse makes erratic decisions. She doesn't think things through. She just reacts. And sometimes when she reacts, it hurts. There's a bitchiness to it. There's a I don't give a damn about you. It can even come up as bully energy. So do I feel like she feels apologetic for it? I feel like she, to a certain degree, she does feel a way about it, seeing it now. I do feel like she wished she could have just walked away from the situation and just cut her off instead of being cut off from her income. She does feel affected by her pockets because this has been something she's been a part of for at least 10 years. For you to, it's like, I feel like I should have just walked away instead of, allowing this to take place. And let me just ask this. Did Kenya choose to walk away from this show, or was she fired? Did they give her an option, or was they just let her go? I feel like they had a conversation with Kenya about her actions, and there were repercussions behind it. I don't feel like she was just directly fired, but then again, it comes up as we got to look into this situation, and being that you did this, it looks bad. This is just too much. And I feel like from a business perspective, it was the best thing for the brand, for the business, because it was just too much. So there was a conversation had before she just left, was let go of. I do feel like they tried to get an understanding here, but it was just too much damage done. And I also feel like Kenya just felt like y'all played in my face with this girl anyway, and I felt very disrespected. So for you guys to feel a way about me reacting about it, I don't even like that. So there was almost like a mutual agreement to not even film anymore. So it's like they were coming to her to let her know, like, we ain't gonna be able to do this. But at the same time, I feel like Kenya really had a choice. And I feel like Kenya chose to walk away because of the unfairness that she felt even before filming when it came to Britt. I feel like there was just a disconnection there. And I feel like she already felt a way about that. And then y'all allowed all of this to take place, and now you're mad at me for what I chose to do, for what I chose to show. Yeah, it's that energy. So do I feel like is Kenya sorry about any of this? Like, did she regret it? There's not a regret energy here. It's almost like, yeah, I did make a mistake. I'm gonna say that. It feels like I made a mistake. I should have just had a conversation with her instead of revealing all of this. But I feel like I handled it the way that I felt I need to handle it at that time, and I wasn't thinking things through. It gives that energy. I do feel like maybe she has had a conversation with Britt, or will have a conversation with Britt, but I don't know how it's going to go after that. So will Kenya return to the show? I feel like it's just too much. There's too much heat, right? I feel like there's too much heat, and I feel like there's an imbalance with it. I honestly feel like Kenya kind of outgrew the show. If there was a disconnection from this show, and I feel like Kenya honestly wants to focus more on her business. She's had a long run with the show, and I feel like Kenya really just is at a point in her life where she just wants to do things differently. And I also feel like, to a certain extent, she doesn't like the way that she has been portrayed on the show for so long, especially with this season. She just feels like she's always being made out to be the bad guy, and nobody really pays attention to what other people are doing to her. And this is not my opinion. This is the cards about how Kenya feels about this. Again, this is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, but it just feels like this was too much, and I don't really have time for this. I'd rather just leave. And also, I'm going to say, I feel like Kenya had thoughts of leaving the show anyway. But, and that possibly is the reason why she did what she did. She didn't care. So, yeah, y'all, that's the reading. If y'all have any readings y'all want me to do about the Real Housewives or any other topics, leave it down below. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.